everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome to our 3-day Womb Priestess activation. Yay! And so I would love to celebrate you for joining today, for stepping into the energy of the Womb Priestess. And I'd love to celebrate you and just for you to really feel a part of this community and space to get the full benefit of these 3 days. I really want you to experience Womb Priestess, that real feeling of being alive in your body, that feeling of juiciness in your body. And for those of you who are here now live, welcome. For those of you who are joining in the replay, you are welcome too. And I want to start with some movement today. I just want you to really enjoy your body, move in any way that feels juicy and good, just for a moment. Really feeling free. This is a private group. You are just safe to express yourself in any way that feels really nice, really juicy and yummy. That is journey 1 into coming into the Womb Priestess. What feels really juicy, yummy and good in your body? What lights you up? What makes you walk down the street and just feel this ness? The ness. And I wonder, for those of you who want to drop in the comments, what is your ness? What makes you feel really good? When do you notice that you have stepped away from your ness? For me, I went through so many years due to trauma, living in my head and being disconnected from my body. And that was a safety mechanism for me. And yoga, movement, being embodied, and this embodiment journey really brought me from here back into here and actually feeling good in my body. That was from periods of hiding myself, like slouching so that I didn't show my breasts, feeling unhappy with my body and unhappy with the attention that my body got because I developed early, I was curvaceous, I stood out, I was the girl that people asked to buy alcohol for them, and that got me a lot of attention, which I didn't like because I was very young. And so I did a lot of hiding and covering up and feeling of shame, kind of reflecting in my Irish heritage of how women should be, and not to be like I was told many horror stories of men as a child. I remember from my mum of how I was at risk of rape if I spent time on my own with men, to be really careful. So there was a lot of fear around the masculine too. And so for me, just seeing the change over time in actually feeling good in my body, feeling safe in my body, and just knowing that I can trust my intuition and act from that place was huge for me. And the first time that I really realized the power of embodiment, I was about 13 and I was at secondary school. Secondary school can be really difficult if you're a healer, if you're sensitive, if you have a lot of ability to pick up on emotions. And there's so much going on in the environment, the lights, the sounds, and just working through all of that. And I used to come home every day from school and just put the radio on and dance in the kitchen and let myself go Completely. This went on even at college. I remember being in this relationship with a boyfriend at college who I really liked, but he wasn't as interested. He just come out of a long-term relationship, said that he was interested, but you have this feeling of not receiving from this person, like as a woman, when somebody really wants to be with you and they desire to be with you, but my desire to be with him, I overrid all of that. So that was a big learning opportunity for me. Oftentimes we would go out together and he would disappear. Here I would be on my own. I would go into this beautiful somatic movement and dance. And I didn't realize at the time that I was doing this work. I found yoga and it really brought me into my body and away from this mind of grasping, of trying hard, and just coming into that enjoyment of being in your body. I want that for you today if you're watching. It's not just about being the womb priestess, it's coming into this space of ownership and leadership in what's yours, what is other people's, and like just really allowing yourself to shine and enjoy that, enjoying your body, enjoying the feelings. And when things come up in life that might trigger you or put you into this spiral of feelings of maybe not belonging, feelings of abandonment, these core woundings, it's not so much the traumatic experience that we've had, but it's the stories that we tie around the experience. I'm not loved, I'm not wanted, I'm not enough, there's something wrong with me. All of these stories we carry around with us in our life, and yet that's all up here. When we're in our body, you can feel great feelings. You can feel rage. Sometimes when women start their healing journey, I've had women say to me, so much rage or grief has come up. And it's really important to really acknowledge this. Like, this is the feelings of what has happened, like the traumas from our childhood, the traumas from our ancestors. And when we connect with our body, all of this comes up and wants to be seen and witnessed. And this is where a lot of people might step back because it feels too much. And what I love about this womb healing work is it's not just for you to take on all of this. Like in the past, we would have done this with a community of women supporting us. We would have had our village, and we're not meant to do it all alone. And also, we have lost our access to spirit. Really, my live stream is experiencing performance issues. Oh no, do let me know in the chat if there is a problem with this live. It's just flashed up that it's finding it difficult, but I'm not quite sure why. Tech issues happen when you're doing embodiment work. It happens quite often. And so let's come back into our bodies for a minute and just ground and arrive in the space and take a few deep breaths. And the focus today is on the heart. Just taking a moment to really feel into your heart. And this is where we can often hold blocks and resistance to life, trying to keep ourselves safe. Put in the chat if you resonate with that. Not going out, staying at home at the extreme end of that, keeping your world really small, which means not trying anything new, not challenging your nervous system to take on more, not trusting that you can hold more. And that was where we were before the live interrupted us, is that with holding more. You can hold more. So if you're watching, I just want you to know that you really can hold more. I'm a single mum. I have 2 children, special educational needs, and I am a co-regulator for my children. I use my energy to hold space for them and myself to create my movement of womb priestesses in the world, creating magic and supporting women because it's so needed. My last 2 womb healing events sold out. There wasn't enough spaces for the women who wanted to join. And more women are having this call arising in themselves, particularly like myself as an entrepreneur. I also work for the NHS to help train schools and support them in helping with nervous system regulation of their children, like children with special needs, children with autism. That is another of my specialities and they really connect together because I also support other women to do this as well. It connects. The shamanism, the womb healing work, nervous system regulation, somatic trauma therapy, being in the body. It has different names. When I have my neuroscience hat on, it's called interoception, which is where we learn how to listen to our body to regulate our nervous system. Now, I found these practices as a child, like intuitively, that I knew that they supported me. And so I was dancing, I was moving, I was teaching children meditation that had just come to me because I believe I was doing this and I was spending lots of time in nature. Like, I don't believe that I'm this unique snowflake. I believe every woman has this ability. When you're able to slow down, when you're able to calibrate your nervous system and just come into this place of juicy enjoyment and aliveness with your body, that internal then reflects on the external. Because oftentimes you go into a situation based on your story or perception of how that's going to be. So if you've experienced a lot of rejection in your life, you would enter a room worried about fitting in, worried about what other people think about you. That's really natural because at once we would have been a part of the tribe. There can be this real fear of standing out, of being different, of really claiming your powers, especially for women. Not so long ago, being burnt as witches for just being intelligent and being the midwife, the herbalist, the one who really trusts her wisdom and body and has that power in the community. Women coming to be healed would have been murdered. This fear lives in our DNA. And what I wanted to share today is, yes, that does live there, but so does your knowing of yourself as the priestess, going even further back before the Garden of Eden mythology, where we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, where the priestesses, where the womb priestesses, where the medicine women, where the shamans still reside, knowing that they're connected to all of life. They are part of that creation energy. Like, you're incredible. You can grow life, you can grow and create ideas and movements and see things happening before they happen. I imagine many of you who are watching have this gift of being able to see a vision or in a dream or something happening before it even exists. That is the quantum miracle, the miracle of being able to see something and then bring it into fruition. And it's really important to do it from a real embodied place, because all your manifestations happen. And I want you to really think about this, because maybe your manifestations have been working against you because of these stories and beliefs that you have told yourself. And so that then gets reflected back to you in reality. Or maybe your manifestations aren't big enough. And so maybe you've been thinking about this job, and then after a few years you're in it, but then by the time you're there, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not right for me. It's not aligned. And so the quality of that, really being able to get into that calm nervous system, into your body, to really connect with your heart resonance. And that's why in so many shamanic journeys, there's this drum beat that brings you back to your heart. And it's the same beat that we use in interoception work, in sensory integration, to help calm the nervous systems of dysregulated children. It is also the memory for yourself of the fact that you are and have the same frequency as all of life. And these practices are in all religions, all spirituality, all different methods, from neuroscience down to indigenous practices of the heartbeat. And I just want you to just step into that for a moment. And I hope you can hear. Tapping into your heart. What message is there for you to really be able to relax into life, to feel supported by life, to really expand your capacity to let more in, to let those guards and the wall down, to allow in the rage, the grief, the beauty, the joy. When you're guarded, none of it gets in. How can you allow more? Can you trust that you can hold more? If your heartbeat is connected to the heartbeat of Mother Earth, of all of life, of the womb of creation, if you have that memory of being the priestess, holding space for a village, the world, the movement, how can you access more of that energy? How does it feel in your heart? Allow the blocks and the guards to release, knowing that you have the power, that you can hold your boundaries, you can say your full body yes and no. You don't need to hide from anyone or anything. You can show all parts of you safely and trust that you can handle rejection. And that actually rejection is good, because it opens more of you up to receive from the right aligned things, that you can call in and attract that which you are most aligned to from that full-bodied expression of your heart. It's safe. There is more energy that you can draw from. It doesn't have to be your own finite energy. You can draw from spirit, Mother Earth, elements, the infinite available in this moment. This creates physiological changes. Joe Dispenza has done research on heart resonance. You don't need to learn and do it the boring science way unless you want to. You can enjoy this juiciness in your body, trusting that the masculine energy is doing all this research for you. And you, as a womb priestess, can enjoy the embodiment of it. This is what I want for you to remember and enjoy. How long can you stay here? What does it feel like to have this center open, to trust? And be strong and powerful and still keep your heart open. That is possible for you. Can you be a leader with an open heart? What change could you make in the world as the womb priestess leader who leads with an open heart? Trust that support, Mother Earth, cosmic womb, from spirit, who can co-create. Doesn't all have to be alone. And even better, within a community of womb priestesses, because that's how it would have been. All with individual gifts, celebrating and knowing each other's gifts, not competing, because your heart, your gifts, your message is so unique. I would love to help you to bring out your own unique heart message and how to follow your own unique leadership. And did you get any insights from that? Insights come from that space, not from up here, that's limited. Insights come when you can drop down and be in your heart. What is your heart message? What would you love to be doing? What would light you up and gives you that juiciness walking down the street? Like, oh, this feels good. Love those feelings. You go have a bath, that feels good. But maybe it can feel good just doing your sacred work. That's why I love doing my womb healing events, workshops, trainings and courses in person and now online as well, because it feels good. I feel good doing it. I am inhabiting that space and just being with women who are stepping into their power, who are inhabiting that space of their power, their intuition, their gifts, their soul purpose is incredible. I learned so much from the incredible women that come and their insights and their gifts and how their gifts work. lady on my workshop yesterday was telling me about her amazing gift of just crystals coming into her head, like when she speaks to somebody, what the name is, what type of crystal it is, and how she retrieves it from the earth and gives that to her clients, which is incredible. Like, I want to find out what your gifts are and what your magic in the world is going to be. And it comes out through this deep womb embodiment journey. It doesn't come through the head. What I love about the trainings that I offer and going on other people's training, I'm doing another yoga teacher training. I've done about 10, and I'm doing some more somatic movement therapy training. The transformation from continuing to move your body, from continuing to do these practices, making them more and more of your life and offering them, opens up so much in your world. It releases the beliefs and the stories of I'm not enough, I can't, and puts you into this beautiful space of expansion. And yes, emotions can come up like anger, grief, rage, and sadness. This morning, I watched this video of children starving in Palestine, tears, grief, and also the people in charge of our countries and how they treat young girls, all of that. But in order to make a change, we need to reclaim our womb priestess. This is one of the things I loved about my shamanic training. When I spent time with the shamans in Peru and later trained in that mythology with Alberto Bolodo and went on to do my master training in that, is that what I love was their prophecy. And the practices resonated with a lot of the practices that I just naturally did as a child. It helped to bring up this remembrance in me of something that I had done in a former life. Dormant abilities woke up, and their prophecy is about how we need to reclaim the feminine so that we can come back into balance, the masculine and the feminine, like a sacred union. So really embodying womb priestess and coming into our feminine is actually in support of the masculine as well. I had that journey myself where my last relationship, where my children's dad had an affair, left for another woman. Like in that relationship, I looked at my part in it for how I can make change going forward. I had to look a long way back at the start. For me, that pattern was doing too much, really wanting to change something that wasn't working. For my children, thinking that was a positive thing, taking on the emotional load, taking on the financial load, taking on, more in the hope that this person would then rise up. Actually, we need to do less as women in relationships, in our work and our offerings. We really need to come into that embodiment and allow others to choose to step up, to rise, to allow others, like when you're working with your clients as a healer or as a coach, and also in neuroscience, helping to regulate children, the advice, the science advice, and knowing from my own experiences is that other people have to do it for themselves. You can inspire them from what you're doing. You can give the tools, but you can't do it for them. They have to empower themselves. The way you can support that is by doing more for yourself. Coming into a co-regulated space helps with my daughter who is autistic. The more that I can be regulated, the more I can stay grounded, the more I can co-regulate, she can copy me and feel how that feels and step into that space. And that is the same for you. If you're working as a healer or you want to work as a healer or a womb priestess, that is the key. I hope you have felt that unlocking of your heart. And how did it feel? And how can you just reside there? So this is going to be your homework. I'm setting you homework for today, for tomorrow. And your homework is to stay in that space, to listen to heartbeat music, play it in the background, or drumming of a heartbeat, just having it on in your environment. Every time you find yourself coming into a thought, a belief, or a story, drop back down and feel, is that true for me? Not up here where you can talk yourself through every single angle and perspective. Here, is that true for me? Tapping here. Really bringing yourself back into your heart. If you're coming to make a decision today, I invite you to ask here. Our heart has a brain too. Ask here, drop in. And I want you to feed that back to me. I'd like to hear a story of a time in your life where you have been fully connected to your heart. What came of it? What happened? Put in a picture, write your story, and I will send you a free gift to celebrate completing the task, the homework, to celebrate you if you've had an experience of this and you share it with other women to empower other women in the group of your story, either from today or in the past. Pop it in and I will celebrate you. And for those of you who want to go more deeply into womb healing work, to become the womb priestess, I have a surprise mystery offer that I'm going to give you little clues throughout and then offer that to you at the end. From September, we're going to be going on a deeper womb healing 9-month journey for women really looking to step into their womb priestess, where we're going to be looking at the mother wound, the sister wound, ancestral traumas, releasing that from the mother line, and the journeys that you can take women on in your work. So those of you who want to work with other women and offer these incredible practices, you can go on this journey and then come and do the training with me afterwards to become womb priestess, to run your own retreats, your courses and workshops, or however you want to express your magic. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be an incredible journey, and for those of you who are more local to the UK, there's the opportunity to come and join us on retreats, or if you want to travel and come to join us in Dartmoor, which is beautiful, incredible, magical place where you can really come into ancient wisdom and tap into that memory. One of the amazing things that I love, when I did my degree, I first did my degree in English and creative writing, and I chose folklore. And I spent a lot of time in Glastonbury, which is a really magical, mythological place where you have the chalice well and you have the red and the white that runs underneath. Beautiful sacred union, really potent in healing work. Such a magical place. And what was fascinating for me, just learning this at 18, 19, I was just like, oh my God, this is absolutely incredible, is that stones hold memories. So they hold memories of millions of years ago, and it's the same for trees, it's the same for the earth. And there was this book that I was reading that I absolutely loved. It was about this woman who enters a new world just from this like stone, had this memory, and it took her into a past world. There's actually some scientific truth about this and her experience of going into a different place and time. And this is really important about womb priestess work as well, is coming back into that memory, that cellular memory of when you were powerful, when you were the womb priestess, when you remember your access to spirit, to creation energy and your gifts and your powers, but not misusing them. Having that mission and that vision by really understanding your soul path, to be able to see it and know what you're here for is magical, so that you can do amazing work and use your magic for good. Choosing you and not using your gifts and your art of seduction to find somebody. You're really coming into your priestess and allowing what is right for you to be revealed, because you're in your heart, not blocking it in your head. Like I remember walking down a road and just not seeing, like not looking and not seeing. I was a lot younger and I walked into a lamppost. I was completely in my own world. I was at college at the time. What did I not see? What did I miss out on? If you've had a bad experience and that's all you can see when you're looking around you, and your mind, it's been shown that your mind hones in on that. If you've had a breakup in a relationship, all you seem to see is couples, for example, and then you miss out on your soulmate because you're overly focused on something else. Or if you're in a relationship and you're really focused on that person who is not soul aligned to you and trying to make it right, you miss out on the 50 people, who could have potentially been that sacred union relationship that was right for you. I really want you to have that. I really want you to be in that deeply embodied place so that you can really feel what those right choices are for you, to really feel confident and powerful and trusting your body and giving your body what it needs and saying no powerfully. You can keep your heart open to relationship situations and work that is not good for your body, that is not good for your soul, and that feels good. Using your body as that antenna of what feels good. Do I feel shut down? Or do I feel expansive? And does it feel good for me? And I'd love to hear you share your stories and your experiences. I'd love to read you in. So do come tomorrow. And I really hope that you felt that resonance from your heartbeat. I'm just going to put in those different opportunities in the chat for you, the reminder of what the homework is, coming into that heart resonance space, your practice for tonight and tomorrow morning is that, and to share about it, being part of this beautiful community and sharing of yourself. I love that. The details about that, and also the application for our mystery offer, or if you want to do deeper one-to-one work. I only work with 2 women at a time, and we work together for at least 3 to 6 months. If that is something you would like to explore, I will put an application for that. That's an application only offer. And I would love to hear your questions, and if there's anything that you want to bring or you want me to bring tomorrow. And then Monday we'll be looking at our voice and really opening our voice, as many of like our womb and our voice are connected. These are the centers as women that have been blocked, preventing you from really stepping into your power. We're going to unblock all of those over these 3 days. I'm really excited. Lots of love to you all.